Hi there, this is Kingsley. So this right here is the Infinix Hot 20i. Now this is the new addition to the Hot series lineup from Infinix. Now this phone, straight out of the box, is a very basic phone. It's an entry-level device that probably you have kids that are just growing up that you just want to give them a smartphone, or you have people that this is their first time of using a smartphone, or they are just learning about smartphones. They might be the ones that you might want to give this to. Or you just don't care about speed or anything, you just want a very basic device. This device might be for you. Now this device comes in a green box in the regular Infinix fashion. Inside the box, you are going to get the device itself. Then you're going to find some warranty cards there. You find the SIM ejector too. Then you get an X-Pack membership card. And then this card that looks like a $1 bill is actually the X Club membership card. And then you get a TPU case like this one. Then the next thing, you're going to get a USB type A cord. Then you have a pair of headphones, and then you're going to get a 10 watts charger, and that's it. The Infinix Hot 20i is actually built with plastic as expected for a device like this. And the plastic is quite smooth even though it doesn't keep fingerprints. Now I wouldn't really worry about that because you're going to be wearing the device in case anyway. At the back of the Infinix Hot 20i, there's a triple camera setup, a flashlight, a fingerprint reader which is pretty fast in unlocking the device. At the right side, you're going to get the power button, then you get the volume up and down keys. Then at the left side, you're going to get the SIM tray that carries 2 SIM cards and an SD card. At the bottom of the device, you're going to get a headphone jack, you get a small microphone outlet there, then you get a regular USB-A port, and then you get a speaker outlet. Now, if you pick up this device for the first time, you will easily tell that this is a very basic entry-level device. It's not a high-end device because it feels a little bit cheap as you would expect for something like this. But again, the people that these devices are meant for, they don't really look at things like that. Then the Infinix Hot 20i comes with an LCD display which goes up to 500 nits of brightness. The display is 6.6 inches in size. And of course, it's a 720p display, it's not a 1080p display. Now, colors are still okay for a display like this. Granted, the display is not really that fast, it's not really that sharp. But again, as I said earlier, a device like this is targeted at certain people and they won't really mind things like that. But the colors are a bit punchy, you can watch videos in 720p and you can do a lot of the basic things that you can do with your phone. The display is quite responsive even when you are scrolling through pages and all of that. There is little or nothing to complain about here on this display owing to the price of this device. Now from the box, the device comes with Android 12 Go edition. Now for some of you who don't know what the Go edition of Android is, it's basically a very light form of Android that runs on very cheap devices like this because of the kind of processors or the kind of chipsets that run inside these devices. Now talking about the processor, this device comes with a 12nm MediaTek Helio G25 chipset. And some models come with the Helio A22. Now these are very low-end chipsets, so which means if you buy a device like this, you are not going to go out there and start stressing the device with games like Call of Duty or any of those high-end games, right? Probably the kind of games you might want to be playing on this device will be games like Candy Crush and the rest of them, because the chipset that is here will just be able to power your device for you to make calls, browse through the internet, and send and reply messages and all those basic things. Now the device has 2 options. Either you are getting the 64GB version that has 2 gigs of RAM or 3 gigs of RAM, or you're getting the 128GB version that has up to 4 gigs of RAM, which honestly I think is really good for a device like this to be having up to 64GB internal storage. Now on devices like these from Xiaomi, let's say like the Xiaomi A1 Plus, comes with just 32GB internal storage and 2 gigs of RAM. So it's nice of Infinix to give you up to 128GB internal storage option and up to 4 gigs of RAM option on the Infinix Hot 20i. Now this device has up to 5000 milliamps of battery, and then it has 10 watts fast charging. And honestly, the device doesn't do that much, so the battery of this device can take you for a day and a half without you charging it. So in other words, I'm trying to say that this is an all-day device. So you can just charge it once at home, take it out, and that's it. You might not need to charge it anymore because of how good the battery is. Now this device comes with a triple camera setup at the back. It has a 13 megapixel main lens And then it has two QVGA lens. It's just the main lens that actually does all the job. And it shoots 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. And again, if you're buying a device like this, you're not really buying it for high-end cameras. The camera performance of this device is just there. Like, there is nothing spectacular, right? In front, you have 8 megapixel camera that also shoots 1080p videos at 30 frames per second. And of course, you get a flashlight in front, which is something I really love about Infinix devices, because in the dark, that light is going to aid the camera, give you better images than you normally get.